Okay, so folks, where is Bitcoin going to now? Where is the stock market going? This is another update from Pablo. As we know, this is a critical time in the markets. So basically, this is a culmination of what we've been talking about for the last 2 or 3 videos. As you can see, I'm coming from the beautiful Treasure Island. It is near the beautiful sunset time. But is it going to be sunset for Bitcoin and the stock market? Without further ado, let's go straight into it. So, on the one hand, what I have been saying for the past few number of weeks is basically this. At the time, we had the SPY. I think you saw my video from around here, around the 12th of August. I said the spider, or the SP 500, is coming up against this big resistance line. I am expecting it to pull back, right? It's hit that and it's gone straight back. I said I expect a higher bottom, which is around here, which is around 392 area. It's gone slightly lower and could possibly be making that higher bottom. So then if that was to happen, it could have some sort of shoulder, head, shoulder pattern and bounce up. So that has gone exactly according to plan right now. Part of the reason why I said this could be happening is because the 10-year US 10-year Treasury yield is doing a head and shoulders pattern, which means it's basically you have a shoulder here, head here, and then shoulder here. However, I have to warn that this has gone further than I thought. I thought it would pause about there and then turn back, right? If it stopped with that red bar and started turning back, then yes, then we could see a stock market bottom, but it's looking like it's going to try to test this old high, which means take it to about 3.5%. If the US 10-year goes to 3.5%, then I do think QQQ will try to revisit the old bottom. Hey guys, which would mean a retest of, say, this area here of 270. So we could see a double bottom on the QQQ, maybe still a slightly higher bottom on the SPY. Now, so basically we've got it right so far. Up to this point, what I've said is still valid. What I've said is still very much true. However, we'll just have to keep something in mind. See this thing. Now, keep this in mind, guys. What I say is a forecast based on the best information I have at the time. It doesn't mean, it's not like I look into a crystal ball and I say, hey, look, this must happen. This is definitely going to happen. This is, 100% true. I've got the third seeing eye, like that kid in Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and I've seen the future. Well, obviously it's not like that. What I say is based on data, based on facts, and what I see is happening in the world economically, and it can change. So one or two things have changed since I've made that forecast. Now, so far, the forecast has been pretty true. I said SP 500 to pull back. I said the Bitcoin and crypto will pull back as well and form that break out of that rising channel. So far, all of that has been happening, right? So what we are seeing is Bitcoin is where is it? Bitcoin is basically breaking down out of that rising channel, which I always said. Oh, let's change this to a daily time frame, which I always said it was going to happen. And by the way, once again, this video goes out to my Discord first, and then in about 2 days, I post it to the general public. So if something major happens between now and then, my Discord has seen it first. That rising channel, I was always saying this is a rising channel, and we get a breakdown here. And what happens is, right now, a couple of things have changed. And I would like to update you guys when new information comes to light. So one thing is that the 7 to 10-year-old Bitcoins, see, they are a really big deal. When they get moved, waking up after 7 to 10 years, right? Look at this part. I'll put it on a different chart. Oh. When they get moved, market dumps. Maybe not right away, but in a few weeks, like 2 to 6 weeks later. When they get moved, market get dumps. When they get moved here again, didn't quite work here, but a little bit of a dump. Here kind of timed with a 2 to 4 week lag, kind of timed the exact top in the market. Here it timed the top in the market again, and that was my warning from March 30th. So I made a video, let's see this. I made a video 5 months ago, March 30th, which says this signals Bitcoin could have a massive crash. And basically some folks, I've posted that video again. I said, if you don't understand what this signal means, please have a look. And I come out and I say straight away that I say, this could be the most important signal. This is the most important chart. I'll show you, right? This could potentially be huge. This is the number of Bitcoins that has been spent that are 7 to 10 years old. Right, anyways, you can check that out video yourself. It premiered on March 31st, but obviously once again, went to my Discord before that. So what we're saying is, lately, there's been another major move. Now, this bar may not seem very high, but it's not a single move. There's been 3 moves. There's been 5K transferred on 5,000 coins transferred on the 2nd of September, 5,000 on the 3rd, and another 5,000 on the 5th or the 6th. So essentially, 15,000 Bitcoins that are 7 to 10 years old been transferred recently. Oh, I'm gonna have to move here. The tide's coming in. Okay, so that's slightly better. So that's obviously a very important signal. What that's telling us is in 2 to 4 weeks' time, we could have something like this, a major breakdown. Now, how would that look on the chart? On the Bitcoin chart, so for example, every time we have a breakdown like this is something I've been, if you've been following me, flagging for a long time as well. I said we're in a rising channel, and usually rising channels break down. And we can see that, you know, when they do break down, they go a lot further than the base, right? When they break down, they go a lot further down than the base. If we simply just take this breakdown, which is around the size of this flagpole, which is around 32K, let's call that 32K, down to here, which is let's call it 17,800. That would be 4,200. That would be 4,000. Yeah, that's a, oh wait, no, that's a 14,000. Hang on. That's, either way, I mean, that's actually a 14,000K move from 32K down to here. That would be a 14,200K move. 14,200K move, if that was to happen again with this move, if we take 25, and if we take another 14,000K off that, 14,200, we would arrive at 11K. That would get us to about here, right? Which is kind of close to the 12K target. I mean, if you're on my Twitter, pinned at the very top for a number of months now, pinned at the very top. Which little bird is this? There's mating season. Pinned at the very top is basically a message saying, I do expect Bitcoin to go to 15 to 12K. And that's been there, pinned at the very top of my Twitter account for the last many months now. So we can see why 12, 11K matters, because you see here, this was kind of the top of this June 2019 top, and the a minor top for August 2020. So it is, if that scenario were to play out, then we basically see a move down to around here. 12K Bitcoins come early. I always thought this was going to happen in, say, end of 2022 to end of 2023. I've been saying to my Discord that this would be the bear winter scenario. But however, it is possible that he's coming early, because we've seen those 7 to 10-year-old Bitcoins dump. So really, in other words, I have been correct up to this point, if you have been watching my videos. But at this point, I'm not confident, because new information is coming, and the new information is that all these 7 to 10-year-old Bitcoins are telling us that there's potentially a lot more danger. So it is possible Bitcoin does a double bottom around, say, the 17K area. Does a double bottom around the 17K area, and it holds that bottom. Or like the 7 to 10K Bitcoin is telling us, it's possible it goes a lot lower than that. 12K, 11K could be as low as the target goes. Which version is going to happen? I would think we basically just have to watch it on a day-to-day basis to see where is the US dollar going. where is the US 10-year going. So one clue I'll be watching is first of all US 10-year. If it does a double top here, then there's a good chance that Bitcoin, like 3.5, and turns down at a double top, then there's a very good chance that Bitcoin is at least temporarily saved from say breaking down from 17,000, right? And the other one we want to watch is the US dollar, which has gone kind of crazy. If the US dollar can, the information, it's broken like a 20-year chart. So the information is, if it bounces off 108 and keeps going, right, it breaks above 111.5 and keeps going, then Bitcoin's headed to 12K. Not in a few months' time, but in a few weeks' time. No, that hasn't happened yet. So if US dollar doesn't break up above 11.5, and if the US 10-year doesn't break above 3.5, and both turn down to form some sort of double top, at least for now, then I imagine Bitcoin would hold the 17K bottom. It might do a wick down, right? Kind of like here, it might do a wick down, but then pop back up. So, it is really hard to tell what will happen. In this instance, I would actually say, just if you're not short, then just stay out of the market. Just don't trade. And for those people who love Bitcoin, who love Ethereum, then it's a good time to dollar cost average into Bitcoin, not necessarily Ethereum yet. When Ethereum is pulling back, at least back below 1,000 again, then we can maybe think about dollar cost averaging for the long term. If you're a long-term investor in those assets, if it crashes to 12,000, if it crashes to 15,000, then that's a great opportunity to dollar cost averaging slowly. It could get even lower because the danger in the economy hasn't subsided yet. Whether it bounces at 17K and forms a double bottom, or it goes even lower, that doesn't matter to a long-term investor like me. It only matters to short-term day traders who are trying to scalp, who are trying to pick the bounce or snipe a bounce at 17K. Well, we'll keep on. You don't need the answer like 3 weeks out, because that may not happen for 3 weeks. We will watch it, and we will know when that day comes by watching the US dollar and by watching the 10-year treasury yields. So until, if you're in my Discord, I could give you guys what I'm thinking an hour or 3 hours before it happens. For long-term investors, and you're watching these updates from me once every week or so, so far right now, that's still good news. If it goes down, then I consider that, we'll all be lying on a beach somewhere like myself and enjoying the retirement life. Okay, thank you for your time, and I shall catch you at the next update.